Man John Bailey. Wanted to do another video on distance shooting. Since I put on my CBE stabilizer kit, like I said, I've been really honed in on shooting a little bit longer. So in this video here, I'm just going to do a little bit of coverage on long distance shooting. So far my long distance is 60 yards. It may not seem far for most guys, but some guys don't even shoot past 30 yards. So I'm going to go ahead and set the target up downrange at 60 yards, and we'll go ahead and take some shots. And I'm going to be adjusting, possibly adjusting my back stabilizer. My front stabilizer is good. My back bar, I may be possibly adjusting that left or right, depending on which way my my arrow shoots after around about 3 or 4 shots. These old bugs out here, Lord, bugs in your face. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a few shots, and then we'll go from there. Well, I took my first shot. It was just a practice shot. I'm gonna add the photo to my video, and it was low, but it was in the pie plate at 60 yards, and I was very impressed with the shot. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a shot on camera, and then I'm gonna zoom down and see what it looks like. This field point is a little off center at the tip, so I have no idea what this field point's gonna do. Let me take a shot at 60, and I'm gonna see what it's gonna look like. Make sure I'm all dialed in here. $60 yards. I'm gonna let you look at it. Shooting at 60 yards. My field point is a little off. It's a little out of balance. My first arrow, I just did a practice arrow, and I hit at the bottom of the pie plate, and it went through the hay bale. So I went and got my other Hurricane. Got my Hurricane sight. I'm sorry, got my Hurricane target sight. Got my Hurricane target. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in and let you guys look at it. Take these glasses off so I can see. That's my first shot. My second shot, should I say, but that's my first shot with my second arrow. I lost my first arrow practicing, and it hit the it hit that black stop behind the Hurricane target. I didn't even have a Hurricane target there. I just was hoping that that it wouldn't go through the hay bale. I forget how fast those arrows go. I forget how fast those arrows go. On my first shot, I just did a practice shot just to see if my actual back bar was adjusted properly, and it is. Because sometimes you got to adjust that back bar left or right, depending on your anchor point, depending on your overall stance of shooting your bow. So I put my back bar where it actually pivots left and right. I have it on number 4. Setting towards the bow, and at first I had it on 2, and I was shooting to the left, and so what I did, I switched it to 4, and when I switched it to 4, it's dead on. So I really believe the only reason why I shot to the left, I'm gonna try it again, but I really believe the only reason why I shot to the left is because my actual field point is messed up, because I had shot it before and it hit a rock, and it actually, the field point is crooked. So I'm gonna try it again. That's the only excuse I had, because when you turn the arrow, the field point wobbles. It's not straight. So if it's not straight, it's not gonna guide the arrow where it's supposed to be. But I was just trying it anyway, just to see how close I can get to the center. But I'm gonna try it again, and see how it is. But one cool thing that I've been thinking about, I also fly planes. So I'm looking at the concept of the bow, where the stabilizer is like the wings. Okay, the front stabilizer is like the wings, and the back bar to me reminds me of the tail rudder. That's what it reminds me of. So I mean, I'm not saying it's true, but it just feels that way to me, and the same, it has the same concept in my mind on what it does, because your front stabilizer keep the bow, it keeps the bow straight in the front. And so when I hit the release, I'm assuming that the back bar is pretty much pivots from the back side of it. So I say, okay, if you're gonna over torque that bow, I'm gonna help you keep the bow straight. I'm gonna help you to prevent the bow from turning left or right. It's just going straight from the back side of the bow. So the front side of the bow is the actual bow that stabilizes that bow to go straight, and the back, and that back bar, like I said, I don't know if it makes sense to you or not, but I mean, I'm just thinking outside of the box when it comes to flying the plane. So like I said, the wings is for the steering in the front, and the back tail rudder keeps you going straight. It prevents you from going left or right if you got that tail rudder in the right position. So that's just what I'm thinking, that that back bar, because when I released first time, I had the back bar on number 2 on the notch, and when I had it on 2, I was shooting to the left. And so when I moved that back bar to 4, what it did, it actually it moved my shot placement over to the right. That's what it did. When I moved it to the left, it moved it to the right. So basically, what it's saying, what it's telling me, is when I moved the back bar to the left on number 4, it turned my bow to the right, because when I hit the release, it's gonna, and the back bar is on an angle, and it's down, I guess, 5 degrees or so. So when I hit that release, instead of the bow shooting to the left, it's going to shoot to the right a little bit, because I moved the back bar over, and it's kind of fluctuating forward and backwards when I hit that release. I mean, if that makes sense to you. But I'm just looking at it the same concept as me flying my plane, and that's just all I got. But like I said, I'm going to take me another shot, let you guys check it out again. Like I said, it's hard for me to be 100% accurate, because my first arrow I shot, my first shot that I made, I hit the pie plate, and it went through the pie plate, went through the target, and it went through the hay bale, and I lost it. So 60 yards, and I'm thinking back in the day, 60-yard shot, the arrow wouldn't even go through the hay bale back in the day. But now I ain't shot a bale of hay in 25 years, and I'm thinking it should stop it at 60 yards, or it should be just about all the way through and the back sticking out. But the whole arrow, complete arrow, is completely gone, missing, disappeared. I have no idea what happened to it, but I keep thinking, John, you're shooting 316 feet per second. You're not shooting 180 feet per second like you used to back in 1984. So, Lord have mercy. So it's expensive when you lose arrows. I don't like losing them. That's why I like shooting one at a time. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take me one more shot at 60 yards with this arrow. It's not the Maximum Red, it's the Maximum Hunter, and it doesn't have the weight. Has a weight. This one here has a weight forward technology. That's the Maximum Hunter, not the Maximum Red, where it has a dual spine setup. But this one has the weight forward technology. But it shoots pretty much the same as the dual spine Maximum Red, the Hunter, does. So let me go ahead and take one more shot and try it out. Other than that, I'm gonna get out of here. But I just thought I'd share that with you guys on shooting with the CBE stabilizer kit. I'm gonna tell you, it really it's easier, way easier to shoot with that thing versus without it, because when I was shooting at 60 yards before, I struggled. I always wanted to drop my hand when I shoot. I guess it's more so of a intimidation. Once I get past 55. Once I get past 50 yards, I start getting intimidated. But now I don't even really need I don't even really need a really big target to shoot out there past that, because I got my confidence level up where now I can shoot at a small target at 60, 70, 80 yards, probably 100 yards after I really get fine-tuned in with my bow. So I'm gonna go ahead and take me one more shot. Let's shoot again. Take one more shot. Okay. That time I focused on my pen. Let me I'm gonna walk this camera down there. Once I focused on the pen, then I know in the world it looks like, and I know in the world I'm doing. So let's go down here and look at it. It's hard to make a video with airplanes above you. Jets. Wish I was in my plane flying today. Nice day to fly. That's at 60 yards. 60 yards there. That ain't bad. With a that's not bad when you're dealing with a field point that's crooked. See, that's, there we go. Let me zoom in again. That ain't bad, is it? Not too bad at 60. And that's where my truck is. 60 yards. I'm gonna take one more shot. This is getting kind of fun. Then I'm getting out of here. I'm gonna take one more shot, and I'm gonna share a couple things with you guys about what helps me to be more accurate. Okay. I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna share a couple things with you. I'm gonna share a couple things with you guys before I sign off. Let me go retrieve my arrow. I'm gonna take you down there with me. I have no idea where that hit. At least I hit the green target. I think I'm low. Can't tell. I can't even see the arrow. That's not too bad. I'm a little low, but just thought I'd show it to you. That's not bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and retrieve my arrow and get back at the truck, and I'm gonna share a couple tips about what I do to actually be really accurate. But I'm gonna shoot again another day when I get some more straight field points and have a correct backstop, so I won't be losing stuff. I had no idea, like I said, that my maximum red would go through a bale of hay, because I'm still thinking 1984. I shot my whitetail 2 at 20 yards and it stuck in a bale of hay and stopped. Didn't even go halfway through. But now I keep forgetting I'm shooting 316 feet per second. But I mean, you thinking a field point 60 yards away? That's amazing on what kind of kinetic energy and what kind of penetration that thing will get with a field point at 60 yards. Wow, I'm amazed. I'm just amazed. I thought I was already zoomed out. I mean, I'm just amazed on the penetration of that thing. But like I said, that's not bad. That's not bad. It's 60 yards. Like I said, I'm gonna be doing a lot of practicing for the season, up and coming season, and just make sure I got everything dialed in. And I'm gonna put another stabilizer kit on my other bow, because that sold me right then and there. Because I used to struggle at 50 and 60 yards. I mean, 5 years ago, I used to struggle at 40 yards because I was intimidated. I always want to drop that left hand when I shoot. But now, when I focus on that pin, that's it. But I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and share a few tips on how I became more accurate with my setup. I'll get back with you in a minute. Okay, Iceman back here. Tip of the day. When I'm at full draw with my stabilizer kit set up, everything's set up, everything's balanced like it's supposed to be. I did this before, but this is definitely easier to do. At full draw the bull back, anchor in. I'm looking dead through my peep sight. I said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. I'm looking dead through my peep sight. Everything's anchored in. Then I focus on my pin. Okay, because I was floating all over the place without the stabilizer kit, but since I added the stabilizer kit on here, I mean, my floating is very, very minimum, and I'm still getting used to this setup, but it's way easier for me to shoot. And believe me, I'm not the greatest shot when it comes to shooting past 70 or 60 and 70 yards, but by me putting the stabilizer kit on here, it's a lot easier. But like I said, once I focus, when I draw that bow back, I'm looking dead. When I anchor in, I'm looking straight through that peep sight. And after I look straight through that peep sight, I'm focusing on that pin, because I'm already anchored in back here. I don't have to go up and down with the peep. As long as it's in the center of my eye, I'm good. And after I look at that peep, I'm looking through that peep, I'm looking straight at that pin only. And if I focus on that pin only, I'm dead on. I am dead on. And it took me a while to understand that, because I was always trying to line up the peep sight, looking at the pin. I wanted to line the peep sight up with the pin all the time. But really, once you anchored in and you looking dead through that peep sight, all you gotta do is put that pin in the center of the peep. And it could be a little off, but really wherever that pin is, it could be a hair to the left, hair to the right, up or down. But as long as you put that pin where you want it to go, that's exactly where it's gonna go. It's almost like a parallax thing. It doesn't have parallax, but you don't want to have it in the corner. But my point I'm trying to make is, if you got that, wherever you got that peep sight dead in your dead, when you're looking dead through that peep sight, you anchored in. If you focused on that pin, and you know the pin's gonna hit anyway, but if you're looking at that pin, and wherever you put that pin, that's exactly where the arrow's gonna go, because you already got it sighted in. That helped me a whole lot when it comes to accuracy, because I was always trying to focus on everything at the same time, and you can't do that. It's almost like focus on 1, draw back, 2, anchor, 3, peep, 4, pin, 5, release. That's it. That's my theory. You know, like I said, 1, draw back, 2, anchor, 3, peep, 4, pin, 5, release. But it's simultaneously, boom. It's almost like within, I mean, at one time I shot a buck within 5 seconds. I mean, I'm draw back, anchor, peep, pin, release within 5 seconds. I've done it over and over again for 30 some years, but it took me a long time to really fine tune what I'm able to do today. But like I said, this stabilizer kit made by CBE, it's great. It's really great. But it took me a while to get used to. I mean, not a long while, a short while, because I just got it. But it took me a little while to get used to the weight. I didn't want to put a lot of weight on my bow, but adding this weight to my bow, which is, it ends up being 7 pounds without my quiver on here, you cannot beat $169 investment in something where it'll make you a better shot. Because I'm telling you right now, I shot at the 60 yards 4 times, and I mean, I got within 10 inches of a pie plate, and sometimes I'm way low, way high, left, right. But when I started focusing on that pin last few shots, I mean, I'm right there at that circle, and the circle's only about the size of a not golf ball, only about the size of a grapefruit. And that's just amazing to me. And I can't wait to get some decent field points where they're straight and get back out here and shoot again. I'm going to go out to 70, 80, 90, and 100 whenever I cut my shooting lane and do another video on this here. But like I said, we got the V3, Mathews V331. This is the ambush green. I love the ambush green. And I have the integrate rest here. I'm going back with the integrate rest on this bow. I took it off my my VXR 28, and my brother in Christ, Chris Ham, once again. I got the HHA Tetra. I'm going with that. I got it extended all the way out this time. I thought maybe I was going to hunt with it or shoot with it all the way in, but I have it all the way extended to the last set of holes, and it's shooting great. And like I said, I got the 11-inch Torx CBE stabilizer on the front with a 1 ounce weight, and on the back is a 7-inch stabilizer from CBE with a 3 ounce weight, and that really helps this bow. It really keeps this bow, I mean, pretty balanced. I mean, it barely moves forward, and that's what you want. You don't want your bow to go like that, because when you're just holding this bow out a lot, even when you're like this, that bow, if it's gonna tilt forward with a long stabilizer in the front, nothing in the back, and once again, I really believe it'll make your wrist tired, because you got to hold that bow up with your wrist. But if that bow is sitting like this, just barely go forward, barely go forward. That lets you know your bow is pretty balanced. But once again, what I was saying, this is the same concept I use because I fly planes, and the front stabilizer, it actually keeps your bow straight. It's almost like the wings of a plane. And the back bar, your back bar to me is like the tail, the rudder, the tail of the plane, where it keeps the plane straight. And like I said, I had this on too, on a little mark here. I had this on too before, and I was shooting to the left, and I'm sorry, I had it in the center, not on two. I'm sorry, I had it pretty much in the center of the little the back bar adapter. I had it in the center, and I was shooting to the left, and then I moved it outward. I moved it outward away from the bow, and I put it on 4. And I just tried it, because really you don't know what it's going to do until you start shooting it. Sometimes you got to tweak it. But I moved it out to 4, and it was dead on at 4. And I'm thinking, man, this is crazy, because this back bar, what it does to me, this is just my terminology of this back bar and stabilizer setup. It takes the bow left, it takes the bow right if you turn this here, left or right. So if you turn it left, let me turn it around. If you take and go that way, away from the bow, your bow will shoot to the right. And if you take and go towards the bow, your bow will shoot to the left. That's just the way my bow was shooting. and I could be wrong. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the way it was doing with me, because I was shooting a loader to the left when I had this stable back bar closer to my string. But when I moved it out 2 notches, I have it on number 4 notch on the on this quick connect setup, back bar bracket, should I say. I moved out to number 4, and I'm shooting out to 60 yards, and it's doing great. So I got it set up the way I want it. I'm gonna come and do another video and shoot again. But it just reminds me of an airplane. The front stabilizers like keep the like the wings, keep the plane straight, and the back bar is like the tail rudder. That's and help you take the bow to the left or to the right when you're shooting. That's and the bubble on the sight. Let me look at it. The bubble on the sight is straight. So I got you. I got it now. I got it the way I want it. But from here on out, I don't think I will ever hunt without a stabilizer system. I don't think I will, because now really shooting a heavier bow is more accurate. But with a stabilizer kit, I think a stabilizer kit is the ticket if you really want to hone in on becoming a better shot with your compound bow. All right, let me go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here and get back to the house. But I always like to stress. I always like to share Jesus. I always like to share Jesus with everybody, because he said, go into the highways and the hedges and tell everybody about his goodness, his love, his kindness, and his compassion. Jesus is agape love. And in this time, in this season, in this pandemic, that's exactly what we need. I mean, the country is divided. It's evident that the country is divided. And division is of the devil. It is not of God. So I pray that everybody come together like Christ designed it to, for us all to come together and become a awesome force for Christ and not the enemy, not a force for the enemy, because we all know there's good and evil out there, right? And the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And it's definitely evident out there that that's exactly what's going on. So I pray to you, brother. I pray to you, sister. If you're not saved, ask you to get to know Christ as your Lord and Savior. I will not stress this enough, where I ask people to please repent. Please repent. And repent means tell God you're sorry. And after that, just repeat Romans 10:9. I confess with my mouth and believe in my heart that God raised him from the dead. Then you can be saved. But after you get saved, that's just the beginning. I think Christianity is like a conveyor belt, where you start at the beginning and you get on this belt, and you're just gonna keep going. You're gonna keep going, and you got to do work here. You got to do work there. You go to church. You pray. You take care of your family. You treat people right. You read your Bible. You worship God. You give him his time that he needs, and it's a lot to it when it comes to being a Christian, and it's also to me like a concept of being an apple tree, where he prunes on you if you want to grow, just like an apple tree. If you want that tree to grow, you got to prune that tree for that tree to keep growing, right? So that's the same thing we need God to do for us. He needs to keep cutting on us, keep pruning on us. If we got unforgiveness in our heart, we got to cut that out. If we got greed in our heart, we got to cut that out. If we got hatred in our heart, cut that out. If we got homosexuality, anything that's in our heart, he just ask him to cut it out, and it just allow you to grow in him. Because that's what we need in this day. Because I'm going to tell you, I do not want to go to hell. We got enough hell on earth as it is. I want to go to heaven. So I could talk all day. I could talk all day about God. I really can. I'm really, really excited about what's going to happen in 2021, and I just really believe God's going to turn some things around if we're with Him. But I tell you, if we're not with Him, we're gonna struggle. If we're not with Him, we're gonna struggle. But if we give Him the praise, if we trust in Him, and if we depend on Him as our provider, He will take care of you. But please, I pray to you to get saved. If you're not saved, just come to Jesus as you are. He said, come to me as you are. I don't care what you're going through. He said, come to me as you are. Come to me as a little child. And He will clean you up. No matter what you've been through, no matter what you're doing at this present moment. There's so many people out there that's committing suicide because of this pandemic that's been happening. I feel so bad about that. There's so many people that's hungry, don't have a vehicle, don't have a house to live in, and it's just awful. But God is the only one that can provide for you. Don't depend on the government. Don't depend on man to provide for you, because God is the only one. Jesus Christ is the only one who will provide for you and give you what you need, because He is the one who owns everything. Don't let nobody lie to you and say that Jesus Christ does not exist, because He does. And once you get saved, you will definitely know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, God bless you, and have a safe season, 2021 season. Have a safe year. Be careful. Wash your hands. Wear the mask when you need to, and everything will be all right. All right, God bless you. Iceman signing out. Take care.